If you do it, we will do everything we can to make it worth your time.
Yeah, yeah.
So all in all, whatever you do, you like us, you don't like us, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button.
Oh shit, I forgot to tell people about the...
Don't forget, we're having a competition.
Oh,
Did I tell people about that before?
No, that's why we don't want them to forget
Oh
about
my God, we're going to have to do a separate thing for this too.
I mean, you could even do it now. I could put it in the beginning and then...
Oh, okay, cool.
Just give them
Then
a quick
and then
rundown
it
of what
hits
it is.
here again.
Yeah. So, boom, guys, on top of subscribing, right? we're actually, Way Game Worldwide is the closest we've ever been right now to having our channel monetized. And like that's such a significant milestone for us. Not only, of course, I mean, obviously the economics to make money off of it. We will if once we could make this a sustainable thing, we will all be able to focus on this 100%. And selfishly, that's what we want. But also, like, how many other like local artists do you guys know that like are able to accomplish this feat simply by earning it from y'all?
Yeah.
I mean, we've never, and there's nothing wrong with this. We've never asked for donations. We've never started a GoFundMe or anything like that. And again, there's nothing wrong with folks that go that way. But we bet on ourselves and we work so hard to make this happen. And everything we also do is always with like with furthering the culture in mind. You know what I mean? And there's not a lot of folks in the music industry or in the entertainment industry for that matter that still holds that ethos. And I don't want to sound like I'm virtue signaling or anything, but if you want to support anything like that operates with credibility and integrity, we're not even asking for money or anything, right? Subscribe to our YouTube channel, share this with your friends that you think would enjoy this, and have them subscribe to the YouTube channel. And I know it's not, obviously it's not going to cost you anything, but I also don't want to downplay your time. Everyone's time is fucking the most valuable thing you have. So if you take the few seconds it takes to do that, it would mean everything to us. So if you are one of the first, so we need less than 400 subscribers to get to the mark we need to get to. If you are within the first 1,000 subscribers, screenshot that and send it to any one of us at Wave Gang, and we will send you a free piece of merch. We should be getting our first batch, maybe, who knows with COVID right now, but it should be coming soon. So as long as you're on that list and you subscribe to us and your friends subscribe to us, we'll send you some shit.
Yeah.
For again, no strings attached at all. After that, if you never watch another video again, that's totally fine. But we definitely need your help there. Again, we don't ever ask for shit, but we're almost there, and we need your help to get there. And we promise you, if you do it, we will do everything we can to make it worth your time.
Yeah, yeah.
So all in all, whatever you do, you like us, you don't like us, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button.
Ooh, so we're in the top 5 now. Top five. Oh man. So I've been updating my top 5 like up until 20 minutes before we were starting. But my number 5 is definitely one of my most anticipated albums from this year, because they released the lead single at the end of 2019 and it was amazing. And this is Swimmer by Tennis.
Yeah.
The song itself, Runner, is probably still my favorite song on the album. It's such a fucking great song. Like that guitar lick by Patrick Riley. Patrick Riley is one of my favorite guitar players out right now. Not even because of like he's a shredder per se, but just like the tones he comes up with and like the riffs that he writes. It feels so authentic, but also like such a like loving callback to the 70s. And which often is overlooked in terms of music genres, because when you think the 70s, people automatically assume disco, and it's like, no, there were some fucking amazing folk rock and pop songs that were written in the 70s, and R&B like was birthed in like the late 60s and 70s. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, he sounds like he's literally pulled out from that generation, and the guitar licks he writes. It's for me and nowadays, especially since I'm like so much more like entranced and immersed in hip hop. It's hard for me to like pick out specific guitar players and keyboard players and bands like I used to.
Yeah.
But Patrick Rowley in Tennis is my favorite guitar player right now. And like the song itself is like so fucking biblical, right? Like the references in Runner, but it still feels like a love song at face value.
Yeah.
And like even Tennis themselves said that this was like the most time consuming and frustrating song they've ever written. And it's like cool that they like also go through those like struggles when they're writing and creating. And then they're able to come out with this like perfect song. Cause like, you know, oftentimes you always hear like the best songs don't take time at all. It just happens. You know what I mean? And when I'm working on a song for too long, like remember when I was working on Drunk Dial 4, like it took so long for me to come to where it was that I was just like, maybe the song sucks because it took me this long, but it's not the case. You know what I mean? Everyone's process is different, and it's just really cool to hear that. But yeah, the album is like so strong. Like they have some really interesting songs in there that like Need Your Love, which starts out like a Death Cab-ish, maybe like mid 2000s OC indie type song. But then by the time it gets to the chorus, it slows down, which is like, whoa, that's crazy. You usually go up to the chorus. And then the chorus is like a Fleetwood Mac song. So it just makes sense for their sound. You know what I mean? Then they have songs like How to Forgive, I think, which is like really more like synth poppy. That could have been written, that I think sounds really like early 80s era Hall & Oates.
Yeah.
And then the title track, Swimmer, is like a classic Tennis song. It sounds like it could have come from their first album. Definitely influenced by Fleetwood Mac and like late 70s Carole King. But yeah, it's a really solid album. Their music videos are always fucking good. Like the Runner music video where she's like Bob Ross, a Jace. Like that. Fucking amazing. I was Tennis I was supposed to see in March with Kyle Adesso. But obviously COVID happened and now I didn't get to see them and my heart's broken. And also Outside Lands mistakenly dropped a fucking lineup last month and I wish they never would have done that because Tennis was on there, Soccer Mom was on there, Childish Gambino was on there. Like it was a crazy lineup and then now it's not gonna happen. So yeah.
The worst thing is that they still haven't canceled it. So we can't get our money back until they fucking cancel it. It's annoying. Yeah. It's just like, now I'm just waiting for it to happen.
I'm expecting to not get my money back at this point. I'm just more disappointed at life right now. But, you know, this is number 5, Tennis, Swimmer. Such a great album. It was something I was anticipating because fucking their last album, Conditionally Yours, my God, was so good. And they did not disappoint.
Nice. Have you listened to Tennis before?
No.
Danny? No, they're pretty good. It very much reminds me of Fleetwood Mac.
Okay, I'll have to check them out.
Yeah, or like Carole King, the fucking
Carole King,
Tapestry album. Yeah, it sounds like Tapestry. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so for my number 5 is How I'm Feeling Now by Charlie XCX.
Ooh, I remember you had her album from last year on your like top 20, right?
Yeah, it was in my top 20. I think it was pretty high up, actually. Yeah.
Anthony Fantano said that was like his album of the year last year too, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. You know, still a solid album. I feel like it's a good follow-up to what she released last year. I just think that it also feels too soon.
Yeah.
You know, for someone like her, she could have waited.
Definitely.
It's like at this point, I don't like. I like the album. I just didn't really miss her. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm still trying to digest the last one as much as I can.
Keep that pip head strong, bro. I don't miss these bitches either. I'm sorry. I'll bleep that out.
But I still think that she's still pushing at least where pop music could go. You know, like where it's still very electronic, it's still dancey, but I'm seeing some of the like noise that like Death Grips would use, you know?
Oh, word?
Yeah, like her beginning song, Pink Diamond, literally reminds me of something Death Grips would come up with, as if like
fuck.
Yeah, but then it's her kind of singing, so it's not as like jarring as Death Grips. It's like
was her last album kind of like that?
I saw elements of that there too, but I feel like this is like, I mean, Pink Diamond is her beginning intro. It goes like, I just want to go real hard, Pink Diamond in the dark, Pink Diamond in the dark.
I'm just imagining MC Ride say that,
and I can see him say that. and like if you listen to this,
thanks MC Ride. He showed up.
What?
to the heat. I'm sorry. I love Death Grips. I know I make fun of them a lot. I actually like Death Grips. I'm just kidding.
But okay, you know what? It doesn't even matter though, because even people who love Death Grips love to make memes out of Death Grips. You know,
he's like, I always, whenever I'm like on the bus and a homeless guy's just screaming about politics, I'm like, damn, that's MC Ride. You know what I mean?
Anyways, but yeah, and then like later on into the album, there's more like kind of like poppier songs. Like immediately after the first track, it actually starts to actually like bring you back to something more familiar. Like the intro track, to me, it sounds like the song that like that. Except like, you know, they only took a few notes from it. And at the same time, they mixed it with like the Mortal Kombat theme. You know, it's like you feel all like
what?
pumped up. It's not like literal, but that's how I was like the type of sound I was getting from it.
Gotcha.
But yeah, like just so far, like mostly the first half of the album is what's sticking to me the most. And then like towards the end, I do kind of like want to move on though. You know, I feel like the thing with Charlie XCX is that I don't know. It doesn't, to me. Her albums are great, but I still haven't listened to the Dua Lipa album either. I heard that's hella good, but I also feel, I guess, with this type of genre where like, because it's pop, there's not really so much of a stringing along all these listening experience. You know, like I feel like you'd have phases, chunks. Where like, okay, this group of songs belong together, and then there's the next phase where that feels like another part. So it's not like a full cohesive listen to. So like, I think this is something you'd appreciate more, like dipping your toes in from time to time instead of like trying to listen to the whole thing.
Yeah, and you know, on the Dua Lipa point too, like I really want to listen to that album, but I heard the single and I love it. But I also know that I will probably not appreciate this album in the current state of things. Yeah. So I want to wait to listen to the Dua Lipa album to when like I feel more like inclined to you know, like exclaim things out loud and shit like that, because I love Dua Lipa. And it sounds like it's similar with Charlie XCX. So as much as like I'm compelled to listen to the album after you talk about it, especially like that it is Death Scriptsy, which like it's just interesting. Like even if I end up not liking it, I just want to hear what that sounds like. Yeah. I want to wait until I'm like in a more like in a headspace where it's going to be, I could judge it more fairly. You know what I mean? Yeah.
No, I get that. I think, which is crazy. Like it's with music, it's always been like that. And we've talked about this where like the you got to hear a certain song at the right time, the right place for it to have an impact on you. And I do see that where like sonically, I know this is pushing boundaries and I appreciate the fuck out of it. But a lot of it is like pop or like, you know, like turn up music.
Yeah.
It is like, I mostly just enjoy it when I'm going for a run where I need to like be kind of pumped up, you know? So
for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my number 5.
Do you listen to Charlie XCX at all, Zan?
No, I'm not too sure who that is. But, you know.
I love that this is like a thread that's happening in the episode. This is fucking hilarious. I love it. Thanks, Dad. We're at number 4
listen,
now.
You know, we're gonna check this out, and we're gonna come back with better results in the end of the year.
Yeah, we can do a follow up.
Yeah, we'll follow up on people that I said I didn't know.
Yeah,
by the end of the year, we'll find out if I know.
During the preview, I think we should also do like edit in some supercuts of Zan saying I don't know this person.
You know, no. You know what Xani should do?
What should Xani do?
Because you know how we do like the playlist, right?
Are we workshopping the podcast ideas right now?
Yeah. No, well, I mean, maybe people would be interested.
Okay. Whisper it into the mic. Whisper it into the mic.
So like he could take. It's like a battle thing. What is it called? When you go into what's the word for it?
A fight?
Like a fight, but the rankings or the matches set.
Oh, duel?
The tier list?
Tier list.
Yeah, you should do a tier list.
Rankings?
That's a great idea.
Medium Frank's number 10 versus Dark Ruffalo's number 10.
Yes. You should definitely do that.
Yeah.
Because we hella want to hear your opinion.
Yeah, I know, right? who makes better lists?
We're just like the whole time he's ranking it, I'm just in the Zoom call, just like.
Then it's like I make the best list. It's on both of your guys' list.
Like as James is starting to talk about the Carly Rae Jepsen album, I'm just like.
What's this
I know where you live.
like, I know where.
I don't think anybody saw that. I held up a knife and I licked it. That's a. Don't ask me why I have a knife on me, and I'm not wearing pants right now. Don't ask. Where did I get it from? I've been to jail, bro. No, I'm just kidding. All right. All right. What number are we on?
He's had to lick a shit before.
I've already pulled out something from my ass and then licked it.
Wow.
He said it was hot. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow. So I think we're on number 4.
Oh my God, I made myself laugh. Okay. What are we on? I'm sorry.
Number 4.
Okay, number 4. My number 4, I initially put on Facebook that this was my number 3 album I've heard all year when I first really listened to it, but it's number 4 now. So that was a fucking exaggeration, but it's Kehlani's It Was Good Until It Wasn't. And again, like I think you're starting to see that like my list is so geared towards good inside music, because this is like probably the best pure R&B album that has come out in the past few years. Like just pure R&B, not like a few like alternative R&B with trap influences. Like no, this is an R&B album that your aunties could two-step to. You know what I mean? And Kehlani, you know, she's been dropping great music for a long time now, but I don't ever think she's put out like a complete body of work. You know what I mean? And we also need to shout out YG for fucking breaking her heart, because you know a lot of the songs, we got some jams written out of that heartbreak. You know what I mean? Like she has that song All Me with YG at first, like beginning of the relationship. We got that great song of them being happy that they're together. And then we got some amazing songs about their breakup, like Valentine's Day, Shameful. Yeah, like that shit is just like so good. So thank you, YG. Shout us out to you. Oh, honey, big and back be bull, and shouts out to all the Bloods out there. But yeah, this album's really good. Even the skits are really great, and they make sense with the overall message. And you know, skits are usually very hit or miss.
Yeah.
In terms of songs that I love, Hate the Club, another toxic song. Oh my God, but it's for coming from the female perspective, which I appreciate, because oftentimes emotionally I identify with the female with the female gender emotionally. Yeah, I live out that song in my life. The song is about how she hates going to the club, but she goes to the club because she knows you're gonna go to the club. And she wants to just like fucking like get into a fight. Oh, what's up, Genghis Khan, Confetti, White Gamer White Vidi? What's up, player?
What's up, Vinny?
Nice seeing you, brother. Everybody, go check out our Final Fantasy VII remake episode.
Yeah, check it out.
That shit, and it's our most viewed podcast episode.
Yeah.
Gotta be a reason.
Hit that subscribe,
and make sure you go follow him too, because he's about to give us hella gaming content. He's the man. So keep it locked in with the boy.
Watch out for our mid-year coming up next.
Oh yeah, we got a mid-year coming out with Xani and Vinny. That's coming out. We'll talk about it at the end, but yeah, just wait out for that. But yeah, you know, like Hate the Club. That's a toxic ass song, and she literally just sings about going to the club just so she could fight her ex. It's fucking amazing. And then she has great features from Tory Lanez, Janae Aiko, Masego, who's the saxophone player producer. He gets a huge feature where he's just playing sexy ass saxophone all over Hate the Club. So while she's talking about, I hate going to the club, but I'm gonna go there just to fucking find you. He's playing saxophone, and you're just like, oh, this is fine. And fucking James Blake is on the album too, and like, what the fuck? But he kills his feature, so that's awesome. Rex Life Raj has songwriting credits on Bad News, so that's you know how much I love him. So yeah, and last thing I want to say is all the videos she shot for this album, all shot by herself in her house because of quarantine. And it's, I swear to God, like if you're lonely and you need some material, but you don't necessarily want to have a fucked up history like cookies, you know, maybe you quarantine at mom's house, you don't want your cookies to get all kind of nasty and shit. Look up her music videos, because you could make it happen to that. I'll tell you what. Yeah, that's. I'm sorry. That's my number 4.
Dude,
He's a great
I was
artist.
gonna say, I feel like I know I've heard a couple of her songs from this album. Actually,
Mhm.
I think they came up on my Discover Weekly.
Yeah.
I just remember seeing that album title and the album cover, and I was like, this is hella good.
Dude,
I
how
didn't
hot
know
is
that
she
it
in
came
that
out
album
this
cover?
year, huh?
Yeah, how hot is she in that album cover?
Oh
too? She's
fuck
like,
yeah,
oh
dude.
my God. But it's so cool too, because like if you listen to the album, it's really about like someone who always says that it's the grass is greener on the other side, and when she peeks over the fence, she's like, "Fuck that!" You know what I mean? So-
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yep.
All right, so
Any thoughts on that, Zeddy? Before we
any thoughts?
yeah,
I know her. I know her.
Well, that's an
I
improvement.
think she's a good artist. That's about it. I didn't listen to this new album. I told y'all I didn't have much. I failed y'all.
I asked him, I was like, "You could still be on the episode though if you want to give commentary." He's like, "Yeah, I'll fucking do that." Nice.
Okay.
All right, Kyle, what you got?
My number 4, I gotta say, it's something that I liked. I still like, but at the same time, it didn't wow me as I thought it was gonna. And definitely my initial listen to it.
It's like blowjobs, right? It's like I like it, but it doesn't wow me. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it depends though. It depends, like.
Give him that
Gonna
blowjob.
say, it depends on like how what's the word for it? I don't even want to comment.
Execution.
Execution of it and like the enthusiasm. You know,
There's nothing worse about getting a blowjob from somebody who doesn't want to get
Right? They're just like, some teeth gets in there.
yeah,
and
when
it's
they
like,
feel
come
like
on,
I
I don't
gotta
even want to do this
'cause,
anymore.
you were generous with me, so I got like it's different when just like what, that's what I'm about.
Oh my god. All right, what's your number?
Yeah, anyways, but yeah, I feel like this is something I definitely judge harsher than everything else. There's 3 albums I kind of judge harsh this year. One is The Strokes, which is okay, because they still gave us kind of like what they already give, and then it's like they kind of feel like they're from the past now. Tame Impala, I was very disappointed with that because like over time I liked more of the songs the more I listened to it, but overall it's still not as strong as his other albums. And then this one is the one I would judge the harshest, I think, is I was expecting something big out of here, right?
I think I know what this one is.
Yeah. Just knowing this guy's career and where it's gone.
Oh man,
Like when he dropped a certain video, you thought it was gonna be such a powerful statement. And of course, what I'm talking about is This Is America.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I was waiting for that because like what he could do. He's shown you he could rap, and then because of the internet, it's like the staple of his rapping career. Then he did Awaken My Love, and that's a staple of his singing career, And I was like, where's it gonna go from here? When I first listened, heard 3:15:20, I feel like first of all, I first listened to it through a pirate, because he released it, and I felt like that kind of gave you the excitement. It's like, oh,
yeah.
out of nowhere.
Similarly, hearing it that way when you sent me the Dropbox link, I was like, this feels like when The Life of Pablo came out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, so there's that aspect. And I was also on acid, when I first heard it.
Allegedly. Jesus.
Allegedly. Anyways, it's still a solid album. There's extreme highs in here, and not one song is bad. It just feels like where it came out, it feels, even though you could tell he's trying to say something with his songs, it still feels like a non-statement. It's a blank album cover. It's just the date of when he dropped it. Most of the songs are just like numbers, and like it would have been cool, but it still kind of felt like an afterthought that he put those numbers. Like over time, like the one song I really like is the dun dun.
Hell yeah.
I already forgot the name of that.
That one's fucking no, it's You're talking about the one with
12:38,
21, right?
12:38, yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, yeah, I know it. It says fucking featuring 21 Savage.
Yeah, 12:38.
That's one of my favorite songs there.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Sweet thing, and I guess in a way it's kind of brilliant because you kind of named them yourselves. I guess that's kind of the point.
What did you name this one?
Which
21
one?
Savage.
21 Savage.
What did you name this song?
I mean, when I think about it, I think it's kind of like psychedelia. This one I didn't have a name for it.
How is it not
papaya? Kind of comes up to my mind sometimes.
I always say psilocybin because it's about.
Psilocybin.
Yeah.
Take the psilocybin. I said, I don't know what psilocybin is. This better not be on Molly. While I'm on Molly, I'm like, what do you mean?
Okay. Here, that's the thing. I guess maybe that's the brilliance of it. To me, that's the perfect name for it. I wish it was named that. Psilocybin, a brilliant name, and maybe that's the brilliance of that. He's relying on other people to collaborate into this blank piece of art, but at the same time, I don't know. It's like
you just Childish Gambino that review.
You really did.
It's because, I don't know. And then now I have to paint the picture of what you meant by that. I love it, man.
I guess there's that. It's just like I'm supposed to paint the picture, but there's not really much I could paint.
Yeah, I totally agree with you in terms of like the non-statements. You know what I mean? I think a lot of artists fall into that when people expect you to be like, when you push yourself into this box of being like a political fucking like I don't know, like figure in art. People expect that from you. Like, for example, like the way I like to draw the parallel is like Kendrick Lamar, right?
Yeah.
He put out To Pimp a Butterfly, which is objectively one of the most important pieces of art ever created. Yeah. And then Damn, even though like, there was cool concepts and the fact that you could listen to it front to back, from like forwards and backwards, and there's a story. Yeah. It also felt like it was just like a story for the sake of the story. Yeah. I mean? And it's just hard to follow up something like Awaken My Love and This Is America and have something like message wise be substantial.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I guess for me, it's like there's not even too much of a, like, I'm not expecting him to be so deep all the time. Like Algorithm to me is a deep enough song, and that's kind of like a pop song. Just talking about how like, oh, we're going to give you something you want, because in a way that's kind of like, we kind of know what you want based on like
word
the industry kind of.
And did you see how the title is Alga Rhythm?
Yeah.
Like exactly. Rhythm, like rhythm music. What? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I guess to me it's just like when I look at this, where I would place it, it either feels like it came in between because the internet and Awaken My Love, or it's way too because the internet, It almost felt like Tyler the Creator already did this.
Hold on. I think you're onto something there.
That resonated with me. I guess it's a little too late from when it came out. Maybe it just didn't like I said, when I first listened to it, I loved it, and I can't place it any lower because it is a good album. It's just that it didn't do much. I didn't go back to it as much, even though I love Sweet Thing, even though I love 12:38 Algorithm, even the intro. A lot of it still feels half baked. Like there's this one song that sounded as if it's just kind of like a dancey song. Do you know what I'm talking about? It just keeps repeating over and over. Left foot.
Dude, I'm not gonna say anything yet because I'm gonna talk about this album. So
okay,
that song, it's 38 or 39:28.
Yeah.
Big foot, left foot, get out the way. I'ma show you how to do like this. Okay. Yeah.
I guess that I feel like I would have appreciated as if I heard it in like a club or somewhere outside with people. It also sounds as if it's something that comes out after a movie, like Happy Feet. It's like something like something for the family. To me, but with a twist.
You think this? I'm not gonna like say too much, but I just want you to say again. You think the song is for
the family?
think the song's family friendly?
I wouldn't say it's family friendly. It's just the vibe of it. Like it feels like something that's like so repetitive and catchy that it's something that could come after, like I don't know, like
like sonically, I can see what you're saying.
Yeah. Like it sounds like it's like a DreamWorks movie, and this is like at the end credits.
Yeah,
and it also just feels like it's
me and Xani both are gonna say the same thing later.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna let you say it because if I say it, I'm gonna spoil it for you, and I don't want to do that. As we already know, I have a hard time not doing this in the first place.
Xani spoils a lot for me.
so really, all I want to say is that I just felt like it's really him just saying again for the 100th time. I guess people are telling him to be in a box, but I feel like he's just saying this time, you can't tell me how to be. Like, I'm a rap about whatever I want, however I want, do whatever I want, and I'm gonna make it good.
Yeah.
And it's not gonna be something you're gonna expect because my last shit that I just did. Like, did you expect him to come out with this? No, probably not. You probably expected maybe something a little bit more political just based off of This Is America. The whole album that was on wasn't very political, but it was experimental just like a lot of his other shit is.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it doesn't have to be that's the thing though. I'm not looking for him to be political. I think if anything, if he added This Is America here, it would have maybe I would have liked it better. Not just because like when he makes a statement, I'm not looking for a political statement. I just feel like I'm looking for like, I don't know, his statement as an artist or like what he's trying to get off his chest, you know?
Well, no, that's not what I meant. I didn't think you were looking for him to have a political statement, but I felt like a lot of people were thinking that he was going to continue with politics in his music or something. Like, it just wasn't expected to have this kind of album. I really liked that album in particular.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
I guess, okay, with the whole thing with This America, right? I guess it just got me excited because I feel like he's going with a harder sound again. So it's mostly the sound, I guess, where like it's not just a lot of like a continuation of Awaken My Love. I kind of wanted to see more of a progression now that you've made Because of the Internet and Awaken My Love. Like, I want to hear more. I guess it's kind of like the same issue I had with Igor, which even though it was my number one last year, like I wanted to hear more rap from Tyler, or like something that's not just kind of like the more, you know, like what's the word for it? Kind of like more Awaken My Love, I guess. It didn't like innovate enough for me.
Yeah, I think like the jump from Because of the Internet and then the Stone Mountain Kawaii project to Awaken My Love was such a, you know what I mean, intense, like, yeah, I guess he did like innovate so much in between those two albums that the jump from, and then after that, This Is America, it's like, and then after that, you know, even when he put out like Feels Like Summer and all that stuff last year, it almost felt kind of underwhelming too because of that. And I think, again, I keep comparing it to the same thing, but like to Kendrick, but Kendrick goes from fucking to Good Kid, Mad City, which was already like a cinematic masterpiece, and then he does To Pimp a Butterfly, which should be in the Smithsonian. You know what I mean? And then he does Damn, and it's almost like a little underwhelming, but it's almost like, where do you go from here?
Right.
So yeah, he probably did suffer from that a bit.
I see. Yeah, that's my number 4. It also feels like,
I know it's like, I know it sounded like we were saying you're shitting on it too much, but it's your number 4, so I mean, I know you're not. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, it's still a good experience. It just like, I guess for me, even though like I think it's still a strong album, I just didn't go back to it enough, you know. And like I was listening to it again today, comparing with the others, and like I don't know, maybe it's because I expected too much from him, and that definitely ruins it. I get it. I also just see Donald Glover for the most part. I feel like I see him for really what he is. He's like very talented, but he's also like for the most part a jack of all spades. I don't really think he like.
Wait, what?
Of all trades, I mean, jack of all spades.
I wasn't gonna say nothing.
Jack of all trades, I mean, because he does a lot, you know, and he excels at those. But it's not like we can pinpoint to him as being like you know, like I think his best talent for the most part seems to be storytelling and his voice. So I guess I was just like, that's his strengths, and I wanted to see more of that here, in his rapping and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I feel you.
We are
Cool.
now in the top 3, guys.
Oh, we're in the
now
Xander
in the
zone.
top 3. Welcome to Yoshi Party.
In the Xander zone. So, my number 3. I just heard this album maybe 3 weeks ago, and it's already my number 3, and it will likely contend for potentially all the way up to number 1 at the end of the year, because I already know there's songs on here that I will love more as time goes by. Even if it's me applying my own meanings to what this song is. Honestly, that's the only thing that matters at the end of the day, right? Because it's like how my opinion on the song, it's really how I view the song. You know what I mean? I should never like skew my opinion on anything.
yeah,
I should never augment or diminish my opinion on songs from other people's opinions. You know what I mean? So like, again, like even though like maybe I am just gonna like more like some of these songs more as the time go because I'm applying my own meanings to it, whatever, that's still valid to me.
yeah.
But yeah, this my number 3 is this very, very, very new artist, Sam Truth's Child. This fucking album came out of nowhere for me because Sam Truth came out of nowhere. You know what I mean? It's like this is like his first real release of anything. Cammy, my sister, discovered him on TikTok because his video for All My Dogs got traction on there. He only has like 4,000 followers on IG. The All My Dogs video, at least last time I watched it, only had like 8,000 views. But his Spotify is like tens and thousands of plays because of TikTok. You know what I mean? And like the easy comparison you could make for this guy, which I'm sure he's already tired of because I've seen him tweet this, that he's tired of this. But he really does sound like a happy Frank Ocean / a black Rex Orange County. You know what I mean? Like he tweeted, the next person that says Black Rex Orange County is going to jail. You know what I mean? So he's sick of those comparisons, but to me, it's a valid comparison. He, again, like that sound, that indie pop aesthetic with obvious hip hop influences and some R&B sprinkled in there. That is just like, I love that sound, and I love that that's like prevalent right now. And again, like artists like Frank Ocean, Brockhampton, Rex Orange County, things like that, they've really like showed that it's possible and that there is a lane for this. So I'm definitely about the girl you were talking about earlier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in terms of like the songs, like Burnt Houses, it sounds like a Blonde B-side. And I'm not trying to say that that makes it a bad thing, because I think Blonde B-sides will probably be better than anything I ever make. You know what I mean? So it sounds like a Blonde B-side that was produced by Tyler, the Creator. You know what I mean? Like warped synths. There's like hella punchy synth bass on it, but it's beautiful chords with boom bap drums, and it's like a down-tempo R&B song. And then the beat switches, which most of the songs on this album has a beat switch. And then it's a much more upbeat boom bap 80s synth poppy outro, like shit like that. There's a song called More Often, which I fucking love. It definitely sounds like a Brockhampton Chance the Rapper sounding, or like a Coloring Book Chance the Rapper, maybe even like a Donnie Trumpet and the Social Experiment Chance the Rapper sound. That's like super melancholic. The lyrics are so honest about him wishing that he could be himself more often, but the backdrop of being a black kid that doesn't fit into the quote unquote black kid mold because he likes the people he hangs out with. Very Rex Orange County vibes. Like, it's just amazing. There's a song Child Ready to Grow. This is probably my favorite song on the album. Definitely Frank Ocean vibes. Very simple lyrically. This is all the lyrics. Inside, been a child. Confident, no, been a while. That's literally the entire chorus that he repeats all the times. And then the verse is, I look in the mirror, I don't look the same. But when I look inside, nothing has changed. I'm ready to grow. And that's the whole song, and it's so fucking good. There's a song that's called Mango, super Rex Orange County. But his biggest song, hands down, is All My Dogs. I sent that to you, Kyle, a couple weeks back.
Yeah, I listened to it. It's sick.
So
The
good.
music video,
Yeah,
right?
it's so good. Yeah, Cammy's using that as a base template for what we're gonna do for Dav season. By the way, she's already started like fucking scanning all of our lyrics to Dav season, but she's been like drawing them out and like kind of like with our aesthetic of the album cover, where it's like yearbook aesthetic.
Yeah.
So she's gonna like it's gonna look sick. But yeah, All My Dogs, great song. It's like such a blend of hella genres I love. Minimal production, indie pop guitar riff. It kind of sounds like, you remember that song? Remember that band California Snow Story?
Yes.
What you remember? What's that song? Yeah, what's what's that song? Summer Avenue. Yeah. The guitar sounds like Summer Avenues, but with college dropout era Kanye West drums, and then Frank Ocean singing over the top. You know what I mean? And then again, beat switch at the end. Again, this album's just so good. Again, like I've only been listening to it for like a month, maybe 3 to 4 weeks, maybe, and I love it this much. And as the year goes on, I'm probably gonna love it even more. And the crazy thing too is like he's 20. It's just so promising, and you know, I can't wait to see how much he grows as an artist and how much this genre continues to grow. Because like what Billie Eilish is doing to mainstream pop music, I think Rex Orange County, Frank Ocean, and Sam Truth, and then potentially the person you were talking about earlier, they're probably doing that for R&B right now. Which I'm here for. I'm so here for. And yeah, definitely if you have the chance, listen, this album's very short. It's not going to overstay its welcome. It's amazing.
I know he's one of the newer artists I'm seeing pop up more and more. So I've been meaning to listen to this album. I just like kind of waited because I wanted to listen to others and see where they would stack. I know he's getting big. Like you and Chemo are like propping him up, and I know when you two prop someone up, I know that like it's something I'm gonna fuck with. You know.
Again, like it's like I feel like I keep saying this, but I feel like I could definitely see you touring with them because you guys could potentially make similar music. You know what I mean? I could see it. I could totally see it.
Yeah, and like I would say,
Definitely.
what was that?
I just said definitely.
Oh,
I was agreeing with him.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say that when you showed me his music and his style, it is interesting to me where like indie and hip hop are merging more and more.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I've never heard. I get like you were saying. I guess like Frank Ocean kind of like allowed like help other people discover that that sound for an artist.
Right.
Because I've never, since Frank Ocean, I've never really heard R&B sound so raw for a while.
Hell yeah.
Because a lot of them are like, it's all about amazing vocals. It's all about Usher, all these amazing productions. But now it feels more like garage, garage R&B.
Dude, I'm good to tell you the truth. Like, I have been seriously reconsidering throwing every single song I made for 2255-082 away because I was just like, this is the album this is the sound I've wanted to make for years, but I have just not had the courage to do it. You know what I mean? And I feel like even me saying this right now is so pretentious because it's just like, that's what all wave writers say that. You know what I mean? Like anybody that like wants to jack somebody's sound, they always say that when a sound comes up and they're like, fuck, I wish I would have thought of that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But dude, like, it's just, I love this sound and I wish that, and yeah, like you were saying, like it's I've never heard R&B sound this raw.
Yeah.
And be so pleasing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And like it seems like more and more artists too are coming out with lyrics that are more like normal everyday conversations, like things you would use like your actual vernacular more than like trying to be poetic with anything. And if anything, that makes it better sometimes. Like the more real it could be, the more straightforward it's just like hits,
It's like what we were talking about like a couple of years ago when we were talking about Fonte, right? Like the best thing about Fonte is that he's right to the point, like not like less oftentimes is more. Simplicity oftentimes better, you know what I mean? And that this genre is proving that. And Blonde is something like, it took me a while to really appreciate Blonde too, because it was like, what is this? Blood. I hope it's not Chris's blood, but like but yeah, it's yeah. Yeah, I'm saying the same thing over and over. I'm sorry, but yeah.
No, it's all good, man. It's all good.
Yeah.
Do you fuck with what's his name again?
Damn truth.
Sam Truth. Yeah. What a sick name.
I know, man. He's so
That
cool.
is a cool name, but I'm gonna have to go with I don't know him.
My opinion in this is I have none.
I'm gonna have to give it a listen. I like the things I heard. Yeah, so I'll let you know what I come up with next time.
Can't wait. The anticipation's fucking killing me, brother.
I know, it's killing the listeners.
So for my number 3, it's Kiss My Super Bowl Ring by The Garden. I know I've talked about The Garden before. I don't think you've really checked them out, huh?
No, I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. It's honestly, I don't think they're for everyone. You know, they're definitely like a very trendy sound right now. I feel like in like kind of like the underground LA kind of scene is what I'm, at least what I understand from it, what I'm getting from it. I feel like it's almost like they are putting a lot of genres together, but not in the most like refined way. They're definitely not trying to like make it's like, you know, they play guitars. It's very textured. It's kind of like, I would compare it to kind of like what is it called? To freaking that one, Sandy Alex G.
Ah, yeah, okay.
But like more punk.
Ah,
You know, so like it's Sandy Alex G ventures into that where it's just like noise and stuff like that. This group, it just seems like it's just two twin brothers, and I feel like they just make what they want.
it's like the anti-Tegan and Sarah.
Pretty much is the anti Tegan and Sarah.
That's crazy. I gotta
And
listen to this.
They both have separate projects too, called one is Puzzle and the other one's Enjoy.
Okay.
And sometimes they reference that in their songs, which is kind of cool. But they take a lot of like one of their albums per se, right? They have a lot of songs in this one album where they would take those like stock sounds from a regular keyboard, like ha 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 ha, like
Yeah.
that, and they work it into their songs, and it sounds amazing.
Huh,
So I guess that's why, like, and then this one, I feel like they were going that, you know, where like they were mixing all these like cheesy sounds and make them sound good because they would add like drums on it or
It's
guitars.
like how when you did, huh, I just got sucker punched by Chemo's rhymes.
Yeah, like that. But yeah, I guess what I appreciate about them the most is that they seem to be just doing what they want, and it's like it feels good to listen to it. Like when you're listening to it, it feels like you're kind of being rebellious in a way, you know, because you're just like, yeah, I'm enjoying this, and like maybe not many people will. It's like, but if people don't, I just feel like they're not really looking past their own like the things that they like, you know, and like trying to venture into something new.
Right.
But yeah, I think like some of my favorite songs here, the first song is a very like good intro. They're good at with their song structures. They're good at, it's kind of like the Pixies, where they make something sound lush and intimate and quiet, and then they just kind of like punk it up all of a sudden. So it's just like you never know what you're gonna be in for when you're listening to them. You just know it's kind of like experimental. You know, like the Super Bowl ring song, it's repetitive, and it's not like they're singing well. It's just like how a regular garage band would sing, but at the same time they have like a almost like a techno beat going, you know, through it. But they're a band that's very hard to explain. They're just something you actually have to like see if you like it, you know.
Word.
So that's why I recommend them. If you guys can listen to it, check it out. It might click with you.
You said two things that like stuck out to me. One, that there's an anti-Tegan and Sarah, so I'm already interested. But then two, like anytime anything is like even remotely compared to the Pixies, it's worth checking out. So I'll take a look. I'll take a look. Especially in this climate, it's I'm not looking out for a lot of hip hop right now. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like maybe too that's why it's so high on my list is because like it's not hip hop. It's not because not that I don't enjoy hip hop. I feel like it's because for a while that's what I've been listening to.
Yeah.
And I kind of needed a palate cleanser, you know?
Word. I feel that.
But
Any
yeah,
thoughts, Zany?
They sound exciting. Well, I might check them out. You said they're kind of electronic, so it's always a plus for me. You said they're like the Pixies. I like the Pixies, so
Okay.
we'll work it out, and we'll get back to you.
That's amazing. Awesome. What number are we on? Fuck,
We
I
are
should.
on number two.
Holy shit. Oh my god. Oh my god, I should have prepared for this mentally. I was really entranced in listening to fuck. Okay. That's the hard part of like actually paying attention to the person before you is that like you feel like, oh god, I'm put on the spot. But okay. Number 2 is I was trying to think of a cool way to like fucking like tee this up, but it's Childish Gambino's 3:15:20. I guess it's being referred to widely as Donald Glover Presents now.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
Funny.
right.
It's the I mean, like, I don't know. I still call it 3:15:20. I also initially was like, oh, I gotta fucking figure out the meaning behind the fucking codes here. Because I didn't listen to it on the stream, right? You again, Kyle, you put me onto this. You told me it came out. I didn't fucking know it came out.
Yeah.
You sent me the Dropbox, and again, like initially I was like, I got that feeling that we used to feel back then, like during the mixtape era, the blog era, like 2009 to 2012, where like at any given point in time, your favorite artist could just put out 25 MP3s that you need to know where to find it. You know what I mean? Like, or like when we used to have to make the trip out to fucking Berkeley and fucking 2 bus rides and a fucking BART ride just to go to Amoeba and spend $20. You know, like. Like it gave me that feeling. And then again, I think much like you, I was expecting a lot because of what just came out, you know?
Yeah.
And maybe not as much as you, because as much as I loved Awaken My Love, it was good and I really liked it. It was maybe number 11 on my list that year. I didn't revere it as much as everybody else did. And I don't know, again, I keep drawing the comparisons to Kendrick because initially that's how I also felt about To Pimp a Butterfly. It wasn't my number 1 that year, but it was really high. You know what I mean? The only difference is my opinion. I mean, actually, similarly, my opinions haven't changed either. Like, I still prefer Because the Internet. I still prefer Good Kid, Mad City. But I objectively recognize the cultural and artistic significance of both of those projects.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to This Is America, I was with everyone. I was like, this is the greatest shit fucking.
Yeah.
This is what hip hop should be moving forward. Donald Glover is fucking pushing the boundaries. This is what I want to be as an artist. You know what I mean? So when he dropped the care pack or the 2-song package last year with Feels Like Summer and all that stuff, I was a little underwhelmed, but I'm like, no, he's gearing up for something. So obviously, now take that in mind. I'm thinking he's gearing up for something. And then remember, he was saying, yo, my next Beano album is the last album. So my expectations are fucking up here, playa. Like, I'm with you. You know what I mean? So it took a bit, you know? Like you, like, I was like, what the fuck? You know, I was expecting something so high. And much like how I felt with The Weeknd, I was like, at first, I was like, you know, there's some songs that I'm going to enjoy. Of course, the one that I think everyone agrees, hands down, 1238 is like the consumable song. And by that time in the track list, we needed 21 Savage so bad.
Yeah.
I've never said this in my life, but I needed 21 Savage. You know what I mean? Like, it felt like I was like fucking working out and like getting crushed in a fucking spin class, and then 21 Savage comes in and fucking hands me a cold bottle of water.
Dude, I think that like Bino and 21 Savage work well together. That's
something that I also 1000% agree with. It's like both sides of Atlanta, because Atlanta is one of the most interesting places in hip hop right now, because it's like the the juxtaposition of like initially people thought Atlanta was like fucking like was stupid hip hop because its trap came from there. You know what I mean? And Waka Flocka Flame isn't rapping well. You know what I mean? Like, but then after that, that's where Three Stacks and Killer Mike and all of them came from.
Yeah.
T.I. is from there. So like, and then nowadays Young Thug is out there, and even though Young Thug on surface feels like he's just another trap guy, he is not. He is like hip hop's like Prince. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, the juxtaposition between 21 Savage and Childish Gambino is amazing. I would love a joint project from them, and that's something I have in my notes here that I'm happy you said, because I agree. But, you know, by that time, even in the song, like, don't even look at the album. Look at the song itself. 21's verse doesn't start until, like, 4 minutes. And so, like, by that time, you're almost already like, I like the song. And then you're just accepting that this is what the song is. And then fucking 21 comes in.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just like, what the fuck? And his bars are so sick because it's like that typical Atlanta. You think I'm dumb, but I'm not dumb. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Got a bitch from Harvard. I talk proper when I call her. Like, that is amazing. Then he says, I'm on a private jet eating Popeye's chicken. Can you just that imagery of like, I'm rich, famous, and I'm a rapper, and I'm eating fucking, no matter how rich and famous I am, and I'm in a private jet, I'm eating fucking Popeye's chicken. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I'm from Decatur, or I'm from the dirty South. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, so, you know, it was just a breath of fresh air to hear 21 on there, right? Mm-hmm. But again, it's definitely something that took a while for it to, like, other than that song, it took a while for the album to grow on me until I, again, just took a step outside of it and took all of my expectations out of it and took what I want Bino to make, and then I just tried to consume it in the way that he was trying to present it. Now, the messages, I agree, are non-messages.
Yeah.
But I love Chance the Rapper, and at this point, all of his messages are also non-messages. And like, I also feel like, you know, I listen to my old shit sometimes and some of my new stuff, and I'm like, my messages are also non-messages too. You know what I mean? So like, I can't. So as much as that does like negatively impact it, it didn't like kill it for me. But I was able to eventually fully love the album because I realized that it was Childish Gambino now, I think, is this album to me is like a collaboration album between Prince, Andre 3000, and David Bowie. You know what I mean?
I see that.
All three of those guys came together and like produced and wrote and performed the album, and that's what Bino's giving us. Now, the execution also sometimes is lacking, and there's some songs I could totally do without. Like, what's that one song that's literally a Yeezus clone? It was like, it was just like literally just chanting and like there's some songs I'm just like, and I think the first song, as much as I like Algorithm, that's the intro, right? I like.
No, there's a different intro, but that's why we're going to talk about, like the actual opening.
Yeah, the actual opening song I honestly didn't like. Algorithm I like, but I also think that's the cringiest song on the album because like he's trying too hard to like set the scene. So, but like again, it's okay. You know what I mean? But you know, of course, 1910, right? That song, that sounds like that's the song that's after the 21 Savage song, right?
Yeah.
1910 is probably my favorite song on this album. You remember that song?
Which one is it?
You're beautiful.
Oh yeah, it's like
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't change the truth. I can make you used to. Yeah. Now, while I'm not a big fan of how drowned out and like fucking like Vec hella far away his voice.
Okay, yeah.
You know, I fucking like love that song because it sounds like a Prince song. It sounds like a fucking Prince song that Bowie produced. You know what I mean? And like, that's the catchiest song. That's probably the most complete song on the album.
Yeah, I see that.
The message that he's trying to say is like clear and concise. Now, do I think it's a strong message? No, I think it's like a Bowie for dummies kind of message where it's like, you know, yeah, we want to fucking like uplift women, but and like we want to say that physical appearance doesn't mean anything, but it means a lot, and we can't change that. Like, okay, but it doesn't change my life. You know what I mean? And then so 3531 is probably my second favorite song on the album, even over the 21 Savage song, because it sounds like an Andre 3000 song that Prince wrote, with 3 Stacks, but was produced by like a Swedish twee band like Acid House Kings. And you know, of course, like the first thing you notice is just like it sounds like a happy song. It's definitely like it, even the instrumentation is meant to be an earworm, and the repetition is supposed to be an earworm. But then that's what makes the pre-chorus so fucking awesome when the synths come in and it sounds like a Mega Moog or early 2000s indie synth pop production part there. And then after that, the end, there's 808s and shit. It sounds like Metro Boomin put an outro on it. But then think about like what he's talking about in the song though. That's why we were like, I was kind of laughing. Like, yeah, like sonically, it could be like it sounds like a happy, family-friendly, like end of DreamWorks song. But I feel like if you're gonna put it on a DreamWorks movie, it has to be like one of those animated movies that are made for adults. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he's singing about selling cocaine throughout that entire song.
I see.
And if this indie pop, synth pop, 808 trap song about selling cocaine isn't everything I am as an individual, then I don't know myself. You know, like that, like, bruh, little foot, big foot, get out the way. That's literally talking about stepping on cocaine and also ranks of cocaine dealers. I'm gonna show y'all how to move this. Yeah, like that's crazy, man. Like, so even though it's definitely meant to be like a nursery rhyme-esque song, I love, like, out of all of the crazy messages he's trying to fucking portray that are non-messages, I think this is the one that fucking connects because it sounds like a child song. It sounds like a song that's like happy-go-lucky, and it sounds like it's geared towards making kids like the song, but he's talking about selling cocaine. And think about Atlanta, and think about the trap, and think about gangs. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to fucking convince this middle school kid who is so impressionable right now and who doesn't have that support system. They're saying, hey, come be part of this family. We got you. Sell this fucking coke, though, because if you get popped, you go to jail for 6 months. You have to go to another school, and we're all good. You get back out. We keep it moving. And that's like fucking, like, out of anything in this album where he tries to give this grandiose message, or this is the one that like resonates with me so much, maybe because like I've experienced it firsthand and I see how it impacts the communities you grow up with in. And Childish Gambino as an entity is like anti stereotype, you know what I mean? Like, he's a black kid that sounds like a white guy, and he came into the rap game because he wrote for 30 Rock and was in Community, you know what I mean? Like, so I think it just like that song in particular was the one that connected the most in terms of the message for me, you know? And then right after that, what do you hear? 30, 39, 28. Why go to the party? You know what I mean? So he's like fucking like, yo, like at least there's like some continuity there. That song wasn't particularly great, but the fact that like you get that vibe right after this fucking like brainwashing type of song really did a lot for me. And then 4226 feels like summer. I don't particularly like this version of it. So, you know, that was fine. And then 4728 is literally the Prince song, right? Little girl, 13, the 70s sexploitation film music. So that was really good. And then 5349, right? Like so those last two songs, I will say, the reason why I believe the instrumentation actually picks up there and you hear his band and his Awaken My Love team at the end of that album, I think it's because of this whatever narrative he's trying to paint, where initially it's like America is this dystopian society where everything is fucking all computer generated sounds, and then like, but we can rise above the smog, and here's like instrumentation. Do I think it connected so much? No, but that's kind of just like my interpretation of it. But yeah, 5349 is such a, like, to me, a great way to end the album, because it's like, it sounds like, you know, like if this is a Andre 3000, David Bowie, Prince collaboration album, I feel like every song, it's like, oh, here's Prince, here's Bowie, like how we do the Wave Gang album, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that last song, all three of them are on there. You know what I mean? Like it starts out with like Outkast does Bombs Over Baghdad, because like most of the time, Andre 3000 is like a smooth rapper, but in Bombs Over Baghdad, he's like, oh, break the bang out, like the bang. You know what I mean? I feel like that's how he starts off. Like Andre 3000 starts the song, and that voice was good. Coming from Decatur, straight from the hood, you know what I mean? And then Bowie comes in the chorus, like, there's love in evermore. And then in the third verse, Prince comes in, what you gonna say? And then, wait a minute, with all the backing vocals, and he hits some high-ass falsettos in the third chorus. So I felt like that last song is like, okay, this was our album that we three made together, and we're all together in Dead Phones. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, like, I think there's a lot I think it's a really flawed album. Really, really flawed project. And my expectations were much higher than this. But when I was able to take a step outside of that and just like consume the project, I was like, this is so much better than I said it was. Because like there was a while where this was last on my list.
Yeah.
And it made me think, so this is a funny story. It made me think maybe that's how I feel about the Chance album. And I listen to the Chance album, I'm like, nah, this is trash. So
like, no, still fuck this.
Yeah, so like this is not the best album this year at all. And this is not Bino's best album at all either. And I will be kind of sad if this is the last Bino album.
Yeah.
But I think it's so much better than that I initially thought, and that what I think most people saying. Again, I'm not watching any videos, or not even, I'm not watching any fucking, is the mic still on? None of that, all the stuff that I normally do. I'm not watching that stuff because I want to like have my own opinions. But I do see, like when I go on the Wikipedia page and I'm like trying to like just get like the notes so I can make sure I know what I'm talking about. You see like the Metacritic scores and stuff there, and I see that this is like trending at like a 6, which is like good but not great. And I think that's somewhat fair, but I would actually put this at like a 7.5, 8.
Yeah, I wouldn't rate it that low. I feel like what's weird about Childish Gambino though, is he's been known to get really low scores. Even though I think Camp was good, and looking back now to the history, Camp is really not that great.
Yeah.
But only because he's gotten so much better.
Right.
Right.
I agree. To me, I still think because the internet is the standard for Bino.
Yeah.
But I'm satisfied with this album, and I like it a lot. And maybe if this album came out in, let's say, 2018, it would be in the low 15, 16 range. But given what we have right now, this is a really good album. And again, like there's some songs here that like, if I would get an album of 35 31s, I would probably consider it for a top album, because that shit fucking like, when I really allowed myself to like really like to jump into it, I was like, damn, this is fucking amazing, and I wish I could have been the one to make the song. And again, it's that sounding in the R&B indie lane. You know what I mean? Like, that's my number 2.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess I'm gonna go talk about this again. Like you talking about it brought up some stuff for me that I forgot to say. But I do agree. I think it's better than what people think it is. And I was the same way. I stayed away from reviews. It's probably not until like I wanted to say how I felt about it at first. It wasn't until when I was thinking, it's like, man, like, like I listened to this when it first came out and I liked it, right? When it was leaked. And I was like, I really liked it. Because for me, I was like, well, they did this crazy marketing thing where they showed you a thing. And to me, it doesn't feel like a complete project yet.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I can't wait for it. And it's almost like it didn't even need any more like writing or editing. It's mostly like I was waiting for them to mix it in a certain way that really hits. And maybe that's another thing that was missing for me. Like, this is amazing. But one, kind of like with the intro, right? Even that to me felt like Igor, because Igor's like, and then it's like this crazy, like, kind of hard beat. Same thing with him, where like it just feels like it was like during the it's like a 2019 release to me, I guess.
I also will say that like when I initially heard this when with the leak,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is the leak. They're gonna fix the mixes.
Yeah.
So I was just like, oh, this again, like it feels like Life of Pablo. But then I listened to it again recently and I'm like, oh no, this is the final product. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then the question then comes, because I was also just thinking about my Drake opinion, right? Where like this is not Drake's album. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe this is not Bino's album because
You're Donald Glover.
you know what I mean? Like maybe like he set this fucking as a long game. He's like, next album's gonna be the last Childish Gambino album. Then after he's maybe was he gonna put a Donald Glover album out? Maybe, you know what I mean? Like because like Childish Gambino was like his rap persona. Maybe since he's really trending away from rap, and he's been saying in interviews since because of the internet that rap's not doing what it's supposed to do anymore and shit like that. Maybe he's just gonna be Donald Glover and he's gonna do more like experimental shit or functional bullshit. Maybe like because again, I also think that this album is underdeveloped. You know what I mean? As much as I love the concepts and I'm coming around to it, and I ranked it number 2. I obviously fucking like it a lot. I also think that it's underdeveloped, and for somebody like Childish Gambino, who always seems to like is more methodical and is 3 steps ahead of all of us.
Yeah.
You know, who knows? I don't know. That's my conspiracy theory.
No, I get you. Yeah. What about you, Zan? Have you listened to this?
Oh yeah, just like I was saying before, like I really love Donald Glover, I really love Childish Gambino.
Yeah.
This album was really good. I really enjoy the song. I can't remember what the numbers are to it, but it's
Which
the one where he's talking about something.
Get out the way. That one, yeah.
Yeah,
30.
that one's really great. Again, with the 21 Savage song, you don't realize how long that song is until you look at the time when you're in it. You feel like you're listening to at least 3 different songs, but it's all the same song. It's just I really enjoyed it. It was fun to listen to.
Yeah.
A good project overall.
Yeah. Cool. And you're beautiful, that's been hunted. I can't hate the truth. I can't get used to this. That's a slap. If they were to mix that better and I go out in the club and I hear that, I'll be 2-stepping with my weapon on me. You know what I'm saying? Right. 2-stepping with my weapon on me. You know what I mean? All right, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So for my number 2, it's Porches, and their album is called Ricky Music.
Ooh, okay. Who? Porches?
Porches, yeah.
Yep.
So when I first heard about Porches, I actually saw him live first. This is maybe 2 years ago, and I saw him at the Chapel, and I didn't really know him.
I love that venue in the
It's an amazing venue.
Such a great venue, yeah.
I know, because it literally looks like a chapel.
Can we try to play a show there? That would be amazing.
I'm down. And
then we dress up as like nuns. That'd be sick.
But anyways, this project though, it just recently I didn't know they came out with anything new until just recently. And like I said, when I first heard them, I liked what they were doing. But at the same time, it didn't really gravitate me because it kind of sounded like a lot of the things I was being introduced to at the time. Like, you know, a lot of these things were blending in, like Ariel Pink and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Even though his is a little different, you know, it sounds more like polished in a way. Like when he sings, like it's through this effect filter where you can tell he's still a good singer, but there's some auto-tune and like reverb and shit happening. So he always sounds great. But now when this came out, when I first listened to it, I was like, this is good, you know. Definitely something I want to keep going back to. And just over time, the more I listened to it, it kept hitting harder and harder. And mind you, this is not like why you're laughing.
I'm sorry. Because no one can see this in the recording because in the recording I have it so only it shows who's talking, right? But when you said it just kept hitting harder and harder, all of a sudden James's his angle changed to him just like looking like he's at the bottom of Missionary. I was just like, oh my god. I'm sorry. What?
I can see that now.
Waves are crashing down.
Oh my god.
Welcome to
The Xander Zone. Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm
No,
sorry.
you're fine, you're fine.
Welcome to the
Xander
Xander Zone.
Zone. All right, I'm sorry.
I guess because like from what I know of portraits, it's a lot of like they're trying to like make some type of pretty music, right? And I think now it's not until now where it's starting to like make more sense to me that this is kind of like where new wave's at.
Mm.
This is kind of the new wave because when you're listening to it, it gives you that 80s vibe,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not like the pop 80s vibe, And like now it's crazy because like my list this year, even though like yeah, of course I'm judging certain ones harsher and I was like disappointed by some.
Mm-hmm.
It's also one of the hardest lists I've had to put together because so many of these like artists now, so much of this music are blending, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like when I'm listening to Porches, I think it keeps getting higher and higher in my list because I feel like there's elements of this that reminds me of my number 8 pick, which is "Fuck the World" by Brent Faiyaz.
Mm-hmm.
Part of it that sounded like my number 1,
Yeah.
and it also sounds like that girl I was telling you about, Ravina,
Yeah.
Moonstone.
Yeah.
And it doesn't sound like he's copying from it. It just sounds like it's naturally growing to what new wave is, where like, a lot of times you get new wave and it's like kind of lush,
Mhm.
but then this one's hard, like introducing like heavier sounds,
Right.
and I just like highly recommend it. I feel like I'm still discovering more as I listen. It's still like a developing experience for me because I feel like more and more for me personally, I'm also seeing what kind of music it's defining more of what I want to do and what I can do.
Right.
And I feel like this is definitely an artist that's showing me that right now. Like this is where I could take my stuff. I think this is where a lot of artists are going to right now, and it's not exactly like a Sam Truth type of projection. It's not really like R&B, but for someone who's like a kind of like an indie new wave artist, some of his singing now too has that kind of like the staccato
Mm.
type of influence now that you get from hip hop. And it doesn't sound like he's doing hip hop, but you just know that's usually what you hear from hip hop,
Right. I
So
feel.
I guess it's just like it's just this thing right now that's, and I guess overall as a listener of music, and at the end of the day, I'm looking for the artists that I am aspiring to be. And for a while that was Gorillaz because I feel like I am seeing all these genres being mixed.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm seeing that more with other artists where like Porches, you're not gonna think it's as innovative as Gorillaz. It's just the fact that someone who's kind of like almost like if freaking Radio Department, which sometimes this also kind of reminds me of Radio Department sometimes. But if it's almost as if Radio Department incorporated all these other modern sounds and did it well and could be in that space.
Yeah.
So
I feel that.
yeah.
And I will say too, like maybe don't say that they're not as innovative as the Gorillas, because I also think that innovation isn't always. I think innovation could also be very subtle, right? Like
Yeah.
I think what Sam Truth does that when you listen to it, I think I say that he's hip hop influenced, but not a lot is obvious hip hop. It's just very subtle things like the slang he uses. You know what I mean? Like in All My Dogs, like really that song doesn't sound hip hop at all, except for maybe one break beat. And the fact that he says "all my dogs" and he says "I'ma" instead of "I'm gonna," you know what I mean? Like these small things like that is not hip hop at all, but it's just like because hip hop is becoming the new mainstream pop, that like these things are starting to like seep into every single genre. So you're having a hard time like saying like what is what, and maybe it's not. That's a negative connotation. It sounds like, but I mean that in a positive way. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
so maybe it is super innovative in just a more subtle way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. I agree. I can't say that they're not innovating.
Mhm.
I just feel like in a way, I guess for Gorillaz, the difference is they collaborate. So each song, each project is gonna sound different. This still feels like you see the progression from like this album from what they already sound like.
Mhm.
It still sounds like them. It's just that you've noticed that like they do listen to other things too,
Mhm.
and that's bleeding into their already established sound.
Got it.
The Gorillas, what's the established sound other than like it's a mixture of a bunch of things, and then there's of course the singer from Blur.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah. Dope. I'll check it out, man.
check it out. I think you'll like it too. Like it's one of those things that like it feels new, but it also feels nostalgic.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll check it out. What about you, Zan?
I love the Gorillas.
I love the Gorillas too, man. Gorillas is amazing.
I love them. I grew up with them bitches. They were awesome.
Yeah.
Pocket full of sunshine. Come on, man.
Yes, yes.
Get
Wait,
that
Pocket
shit
Full
out
of
of here.
Sunshine is a Tasha Bedingfield song.
Yeah, you know what song I'm talking about.
I got a
though.
pocket,
You
got a
said-
pocket full of
Get the
I know,
cool,
just-
get the cool shine. That one.
But yeah.
No,
yeah.
it's like
Or talking about the which
Yeah.
one?
You got a pocket full of sunshine. I got sunshine.
Oh,
in
that
my
one.
hands.
Not bad.
Got them useless, but not for all the shit. You know that song.
I got a bag of shit. In a
Got a
bag.
whole bag of it.
I got shit in a bag.
Oh my god.
I can't wait for the supercut.
Yeah.
Not supercuts the barbers, because that's trash for fucking really trash people. I'm just kidding. Don't listen to me. I meant like the supercut of. Okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
What's number one, guys?
Oh, we're at number one. God
album.
damn it! I feel underprepared. Oh God, my number one. Man, I love this album so much. Honestly, like as much as I like all the other albums on this list, it really was never so I will say it was hard to make this list because I think it's a down year for music.
Mm-hmm.
And also, like, I would love hip hop, but it's just not the year for hip hop right now. You know what I mean? And hip hop is like my true love. That's my wife. You know what I mean? But it was hard to make the list 2 through 10. You know what I mean? Because like again, the genres blending. What I'm listening to on a more regular basis isn't as consistent because of the scenario and the environment that I'm in. But number one has never been in question this year. Number one has just not been in question this year. You guys want to see what my number one is?
Sure.
I do.
You ready?
You gonna screen share it? Or?
Yep.
Just let it happen, baby.
Oh.
I've been hearing you listen to this since you got that record at the house.
I've been listening to this before the vinyl came because the vinyl got delayed hella times because of COVID. I love this album so fucking much.
Oh man.
It's cute. It's cute.
I love you, Sophie. I know you got a man, and I know he's in the band, but I'm marrying you, even if you don't marry me back.
That's such a cool aesthetic.
Dude, it is, man.
Especially compared, it's such a crazy jump from like the one you showed me, where
Yeah,
like she's in front of
cool.
a shed.
Yeah, clean. Yeah.
Yeah, and to this, it's like this feels like it's, I don't know, never ending story.
And it's also like it looks like she's trying to present herself as like an early 2000s like pop icon.
Yeah,
But she is so anti that, and like it just encapsulates the feel of the album so much. And obviously, I'm holding Soccer Mommy's Color Theory. I don't know if any album will come out the rest of the year that's going to be better than this. And think about like, let me go through the list of my number ones over the past 8 years, right? So, Oxymoron by Schoolboy Q, Beauty Behind the Darkness by The Weeknd, Coloring Book by Chance, Control by SZA, No Shame by Lily Allen. I don't know, that's not actually close at all. When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? Billie Eilish. It has been so long since my number one album has been from like the indie rock, indie pop genre. Probably since maybe My Maudlin Career by Era, right? In 2009. But 2009 is when How Fly by Wiz Khalifa and Currency came out, and Kid Cudi's Man on the Moon came out that year too. So like, and fucking Kanye's fucking Beautiful Dark Twisted Faces. So yeah, that was not my number one that year. You know what I mean? So it's been a long time, bro. And Yeah, I think I've told the story before. The way I initially discovered Soccer Mommy, right before Clean came out, their last album a couple years back. What year was that? 2017 maybe 2018. Let me find it here. Or let me find it here. Let me find it
I
here.
think that was 2018.
Yeah, yes, 2018. So like, yeah, it was my number 12 that year, and that I thought that was so high for that an indie rock album.
Yeah.
And the way I discovered them was, y'all remember in high school I was in a band called Soccer Mom. Facebook's fucking advertising algorithm was like, since you like Soccer Mom, maybe you'll like Soccer Mommy. And I was like, what the fuck is this? So I look it up thinking it's probably some other dumb page. And then what's on there is the music video for oh my God, the music video for fucking Cool. And I was like, holy shit, this is 2018 Liz Phair. You know what I mean? Like, this is 2018 Velocity Girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I love that album. I fucking love that album. But in many ways, I feel like Clean, that album, was Sophia's fucking album. It was like her songs, and then she employed a band. You know what I mean? And while Color Theory is even more personal, I feel like it sounds like Soccer Mommy and not Sophie. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This album is fucking so good, man. Like, I think it's her magnum opus, right? And it's so early in her career to say that. But there's literally no bad songs, bro. I loved Clean. But in many ways, again, Sophie was still finding her voice as a writer, and her band members were finding their place and where they could like place their sonics, you know. But Bloodstream, Circle the Drain, Royal Screw Up, and Night Swimming, first 4 songs on the album. It's the songs all of side A, and are the 4 best songs Soccer Mommy's ever put out. Better than Cool, and better than Your Dog and Your Last Girl. And you know how much I love that album. And I think Soccer Mommy has like successfully molded themselves to sound like a quintessential mid to late 90s indie rock / college rock band. Reminds me so much, again, Liz Phair's Exile to Guyville, which is like a perfect album. It sounds like early Fountains of Wayne, like Sink to the Bottom. Remember that song? It sounds like fucking, at times, Velocity Girl, and even like Marcy Playground. You remember Marcy Playground, right? I smell sex and candy. Yeah, it sounds like that. Like Sophie's lyrics, like in this album too, are just like so much more confrontational as well. You know what I mean? Songs. How did I fucking put? Like, it sounds like you're reading her diary against her wishes. You know what I mean? Like, you snuck into her room and you found her diary and you read it and you're like, oh my God. You know what I mean? Like, she thinks this and she put it out. You know what I mean? Like, Royal Screw Up is fucking so, like, at first hard to listen to because you're just, like, cringing that she's saying these things. And then there's a song, Crawling in My Skin, which is not a Linkin Park cover. When I saw it in the track listing, I was like, is this a Linkin Park cover? but it's not, right? And the Circle the Drain is potentially my song of the year. Like, there's no song that could come out this year that's better than that. It's like the perfect combination of, again, honest songwriting and just listen. Can I read you some? I've been doing this a lot in my reviews. I'm going to read you some lyrics. Okay, let me find it.
Sure.
I don't have to find it. I know this, right? This verse. I'm trying to seem strong for my love, for my family and friends, but I'm so tired of faking because I'm chained to my bed when they're gone, watching TV alone till my body starts aching, and I think there's mold in my brain spreading down all the way through my heart and my body because I cling to the dark of the room and the days thin me out or just burn me straight through. And then her fucking pre-chorus follows that up with, things feel that low sometimes, even when everything is fine. That is fucking real as shit. And that's, God, like, if that doesn't speak to, like, everything that I've been fucking, like, struggling with lately. And it's funny because she's just, like, a 22-year-old girl. I fucking relate to that shit, unfortunately. Yeah. And so you combine that with, like, an amazing chorus. Like, you know the chorus to Circle the Drain. That is, like, I wish I would have wrote it, and the instrumentation is perfect, and now like those are like the main parts of the songs, right? But it's always like the small things, the tiny little details that like make you fall in love with people or anything,
Yeah.
right? You know the song I'm talking about, right? Circle the Drain. Like the last bridge into the last chorus, she like the whole band, I'm sure like the entire band put input into this. They did a build up to what we think is going to be a crescendo, and then when the drop is supposed to happen, they half drop you. They put the drums back in there, but it's such an aggressive high pass filter
Yeah.
for the last 4 bars, for the first 4 bars of the chorus, that you're almost like you're edged, like you're fucking getting jacked off, and then she like just edges you. You know what I mean? Like, and then it drops perfectly with extra harmonies and the overdrive on the guitars. And honestly, that shit is like a freaky goosebump moment 20 times over. Like, it's fucking tear jerking, man. And you know, I could go all day about this record. It's perfect. The artwork inside of it, like I want next time I am able to go to the studio, I will bring this album, and you could like the artwork and like what's missing to the way we all consume music nowadays. And sure, it's great that everything's so accessible and we could listen to anything from anytime, and that's amazing. But you don't consume the art the way that you used to. Like, it's not a project. It's something that happens. You know what I mean? Like, albums and music today is just something that happens that you participate in and then you go away.
Yeah.
Whereas back then, when we would dig in crates and find an album we love and we open it, you are engulfed by it.
Yeah.
And this gave me that feeling, bro. Like, I've always bought vinyl, you know that, but it's been so long since it's been a while since I've listened to a record and I've pulled out the artwork and I fucking go through the artwork and read the lyrics while I'm playing, and then you just feel like you're taking on this fucking experience. And
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, it's almost like there's a difference in feeling when you got a new vinyl or a new CD because you went, you tracked all the way to, let's say, Amoeba or Rasputin.
Yeah.
There's a different feeling when you get that and you take it home, but you took it home just because you needed to go home with something.
Right.
Compared to when you actually found something that you're like, oh, I don't know. And then when you took it home, you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
It fell into my lap. Like, the universe wanted me to listen to this.
Yeah. And that's how I felt when I originally discovered Soccer Mommy. But then also, this year too, you told me that they dropped an album. I didn't find this shit. I wasn't like actively looking for a Soccer Mommy album, because when they dropped this album, I wasn't listening to new music. I was so burnt out on how many albums I listened to last year, and we were so laser focused on putting Gav season out that I wasn't fucking listening to anything. And then after that, I went on vacation. I got a new job, and then COVID. I wasn't looking for this. And you're like, "Yo, Soccer Mommy put out an album. It's really and the songs that I heard is fucking good." And I was like, "Oh, cool. I'll check it out." And then it one of those things where like I listened to the album for the first time. And I was like, oh, this is really good. And then after that, they did the Bandcamp thing where it's like, hey, fucking, all the proceeds go directly to the artist. So I'm like, oh, cool. I'll buy it. You know what I mean? I'll buy it just to support. And then Cammie was like, hey, remember you were showing me Soccer Mommy? I love it. And then like for her birthday, I bought her a record player and her choice of 5 vinyl. And she's like, I'll put that on there too. So then I got 2 copies. And then, it took a while to get here, but I kept listening to the album on Spotify and all that, and I loved it. But then when the record came and I was like already like loving the album, and then the art, the experience just took it to the next level. You know what I mean? And then another thing too that made me really want to support Soccer Mommy is right when COVID happened. They played a show in Club Penguin, and me and Cammie made a date. We were like, hey, let's just fucking do it. I don't fucking play Club Penguin, but I made an account and we went in there, and it was so cool. And I already liked the album, but then she played it's just all of these things. Like, there's so many things that had to happen for me to feel this way about an album, and it was not something I was actively looking to do. So like you said, it just like fell in your lap, and it was like the universe wanted me to like love this. And the lyrics and like the Sonics. Think about it too. If this album came out last year, it wouldn't be this high. Why? Because I'm outside, I'm hanging out with hoes, we're fucking drinking in clubs, we're going to karaoke, we're fucking shooting videos. I go to the Philippines, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not in the right place to consume this album. But the universe created this perfect big bang, like everything aligned.
Yeah.
And this is where I was supposed to be. I don't know if I believe in fate, but fate put this in my hands, man. And it's the best album. I don't know if anything is going to impact me as much as this did. This early in the year. I know we still have another half of a year to go, and who knows what things are going to be like and where my head's going to be at. But I needed this album now. And this is such a crazy, monumental time to be alive. Like, we will never forget 2020. Like, I'm going to be 85 years old, and I'm going to remember COVID and how weird this time is and how scary and unsure and uncertain this time is. And on top of that, I have to deal with my own head. But the thing that I will always associate with the COVID craziness is this fucking album, and that means something. And this will be in my memoir when I write one when I'm old. You know what I mean? Like, this means something. And this little girl from fucking Memphis, Tennessee, who, again, I love Memphis because I'm a Memphis Grizzlies fan randomly. Like, what the fuck is happening? She's in a band called Soccer Mommy, and the only way I know them is because I was in a band called Soccer Mom, and Facebook was like, listen to them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could go on for 30 more minutes. I'm sorry. I'm taking too much time.
No, you're fine, man. You're fine, man.
Album this year. Thank you, Sophie, and everyone else in fucking Soccer Mommy. And I can't wait till this shit ends so I can go to your show and buy every single piece of fucking merch on your table because I just want to support you. And yeah, that's it. I need a cigarette.
That's awesome.
What's your number one, Kyle?
So my number one is so it's Zach Villar. You guys heard of him? I guess that's a very non-climactic. I was trying to think of like how can I spin this, but I guess like I first heard of Zach Villar from his album. What is it called? It's Little World, right? And when I first heard this album, I loved it immediately because like that's the same year that Flower Boy came out. And I think it actually came out a few months before Flower Boy.
I think you showed this guy to me before. He's the white guy.
Yeah.
He has like those funny music videos that are hella good.
Yeah. I Wish I Was Cool.
Yeah, okay. I know this guy actually. Yeah.
And like I feel like his style kind of reminds me of Sam Truth. Kind of reminds me of it's like again one of those things where things are blending now, where like a lot of people sound like they have similar interests as far as music, right? Because I definitely see that Frank Ocean influenced this person, right? Maybe even Tyler. Even though, like I was saying, like his Little World album came out, I think a few months before Tyler's Flower Boy came out, and there's some cuts in Little World album that literally, like instrumentally, even like the harmonies and stuff sound like Tyler could have made it, except it's not as like polished. You know, it's not as like. There's something much more endearing about it because it feels not as like commercial, I guess. It's coming more from just someone with a smaller name. And then when this album came out, I listened to it and I liked it, right? But it was all right. Like I thought, I didn't think I was gonna like it that much. Mm-hmm. And maybe like it's the perfect storm right now where it's just this guy who just seems like a normal guy. Mm-hmm. You know, you don't expect him to be like someone people will look at. It's like, oh my God, that guy's so cool.
Right.
You know, and he keeps using that, I think, to his advantage because it's endearing that way.
Mm-hmm.
Like you see this kind of underdog throughout the whole time, but he's making pretty good music, you know, and he has that sense of humor with the way he makes music where like, I don't know, like all of these songs for the most part are love songs.
Right.
And it's being seen through, of course, a guy who's kind of like nerdy, you know. But I don't know, you just feel for him. Like it's like you want him.
Yeah, you're like rooting for the underdog.
Yeah, you're rooting for the underdog. And he has like really cool, and his singing is actually way better now, I think. It's sounding deeper. I feel like he's relying more on that, not, I just think this album compared to his last one, at first I thought the previous one was better. I think this one's better. Like, it sounds more refined. He's getting like better at it. And the whole theme, it's called Cardboard City. I didn't know the name for a while because like I would just put it on because I saw that he had something new, and I barely know the names because I would just listen to it. The first song is called Superhero Strength, and he's talking about how he had this dream where he had superhero strength, but then he woke up this afternoon. So he's just playing on that where like he knows he's this like scrawny little guy, but he has this fantasy where he wishes he had that strength.
He wishes he had that Xani Devito fucking big man strength. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
already know. You already know. We out here.
But that's kind of like a loose theme that I find throughout this album. And the thing is, he's one of those artists that would put in skits into the album, and I appreciate the fuck out of it for some reason. Like, I love listening to it because he has this one skit. It's like the third thing that comes on, and it's called My Hero, and it's just him with his voice kind of squeaky, kind of like a chipmunk, being mugged by somebody. Where he's just like, it's like someone approaches like, hey, it's like the voice acting too is so like hammy. He's like, hey, what you doing there? And it's like, oh no man, no, please don't hurt me, please, stuff like that. And it's like, I don't have money. And it's like, oh yeah, but I see your shoes. It's like, no man, that's my Jordan 3s. That's my Jordan 3s. Please don't, man, please don't.
He's wearing Jordan 3s. That's so tight. I got it.
So, and then like in the end, it's like, okay, fine, you could keep your shoes, but give me your wallet, and then like, okay, man. And then towards the end, you just hear, hey, step away from him. It's like the superhero game.
Yeah.
And so even that, like, I won't skip that. That's like part of the listening experience. It's like one of those albums that I enjoy listening from beginning till end. And I guess like to me, it's my number one because of how like much of an underdog this guy presents himself to be. He doesn't take himself so seriously to the point that it makes him cool.
Yeah, that's
That's
true.
Huh?
I said, yeah, no, that definitely, like, when you own your shit, it definitely like you self-aware people are just like cool in general. You know what I mean? They don't have to.
And like the lyricism is so simple. Like I said, it's mostly like just love songs, but then there has this one song called Sore Throat that I feel like maybe there's another reason why I'm like appreciating this more because of COVID times, because it begins like, sometimes I stay inside, and like, and I'm seeing too that his vocal harmonies are turning more and more R&B.
That's it.
So I guess like over time, the more I listen to this, the more it just kept winning me over with its like sincerity and how endearing it is. And I think that's why it's like my number one. And I honestly, if you like Sam Truth, I think the more you listen to this guy, the more you'd like get the same appreciation I have.
Yeah.
And it's like one of those albums where like he has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 tracks. It doesn't feel like it because he has skits in between. It's like a proper album where there's skits, there's interludes, and at the same time, I don't think he has a song that's like, let's see, that's any longer than like 3 minutes. They're all pretty short songs, and you don't feel, even the 3-minute ones, they feel shorter. It almost feels like how Tierra Whack kind of wrote her songs, where there's all the elements of a song, but it just feel like, you know what, I could hear more of that. You could have written more, but the fact that you ended it here is actually bittersweet. Like, it's perfect. So for like something that's an underdog, kind of like smaller, lesser known person, like to me, this is like something that resonated with me more than anything else this year.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That's sick too. That like, you know, I think we're just like in the right headspace to get that type of music. So if you say he sounds like Sand Truth, and I remember the stuff you showed me before, I thought was like interesting. Definitely send that to me because I want to. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Xani?
Any thoughts, Andy?
Right on.
Right on.
Right fucking on, man.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. I love the dynamic of like me and Kyle just like gushing about songs that we love, and then James just like, for sure. Especially when you think about like he volunteered to be here. It's so good. It's amazing. It's fucking comedic genius.
Oh god.
And like I want to like steal his. I want to steal your bit when you and Vinny do your fucking countdown, but I'm not a style biter like that. You know what I mean? I got a double count in every selection he has. I'm like, I fucking love that movie. What? Are you kidding me? I gotta like do that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Or we could just be contrarians the whole time.
Yeah, like no, that sucked. Wait, what
That movie? It was trash.
Wait. You said Parasite?
You know that has subtitles, right?
What?
Wait, so I have to read? That's the best movie this year?
How dare you? How dare you give me this trash list?
This is not even a B movie. Like, oh man. That's
shit.
hilarious.
Yeah, damn, that's the list, guys.
Dude, I feel like I need a cigarette.
Yeah?
Yeah. I had like some really good, well-paced sex and like I didn't nut too early, but I also like didn't like nut too late either because she like edged me just the right. Okay, I'm sorry. This analogy's going too long. I'm sorry.
Well, everybody, we want you to hit like and subscribe at the bottom of the page.
Oh shit! I forgot to tell people about the.
Don't forget, we're having a competition.
Oh,
Did I tell people about that before?
No, that's why we don't want them to forget.
Oh
about
my
it.
god, we're gonna have to do a separate thing for this too.
I mean, you could even do it now. I could put it in the beginning and then.
Oh, okay, cool.
Just give them
Then
a quick rundown
it
of what
hits
it is.
here again.
Yeah. So, boom, guys. On top of subscribing, right? we're actually Way Game Worldwide is the closest we've ever been right now to having our channel monetized, and like that's such a significant milestone for us. Not only, of course, I mean, obviously the economics to make money off of it. We will if once we could make this a sustainable thing, we will all be able to focus on this 100%. And selfishly, that's what we want. But also, like, how many other like local artists do you guys know that like are able to accomplish this feat simply by earning it from y'all?
Yeah.
I mean, we've never, and there's nothing wrong with this. We've never asked for donations. We've never started a GoFundMe or anything like that. And again, there's nothing wrong with folks that go that way. But we bet on ourselves and we work so hard to make this happen. And everything we also do is always with like with furthering the culture in mind. You know what I mean? And there's not a lot of folks in the music industry or in the entertainment industry for that matter that still holds that ethos. And I don't want to sound like I'm virtue signaling or anything, but if you want to support anything like that operates with credibility and integrity, we're not even asking for money or anything, right? Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Share this with your friends that you think would enjoy this and have them subscribe to the YouTube channel. And I know it's not, obviously it's not going to cost you anything, but I also don't want to downplay your time. Everyone's time is fucking the most valuable thing you have. So if you take the few seconds it takes to do that, it would mean everything to us. So if you are one of the first, so we need less than 400 subscribers to get to the mark we need to get to. If you are within the first 1,000 subscribers, screenshot that and send it to any one of us at Wave Gang, and we will send you a free piece of merch. We should be getting our first batch. Maybe, who knows with COVID right now, but it should be coming soon. So as long as you're on that list and you subscribe to us and your friends subscribe to us, we'll send you some shit.
Yeah.
For again, no strings attached at all. After that, if you never watch another video again, that's totally fine.
Mm-hmm.
But we definitely need your help there. Again, we don't ever ask for shit, but we're almost there, and we need your help to get there. And we promise you, if you do it, we will do everything we can to make it worth your time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So all in all, whatever you do, you like us, you don't like us, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your brother, tell your sister. I don't give a fuck. Tell everybody, hit that subscribe button. When you get these views up, you get a t-shirt. We're going to send you something. I don't give a fuck. We're going to send you something. I'll send you my socks. I don't give a fuck.
You've just been Xander zoned.
Well, I mean, there's also that thing, like, okay, you get something out of it if you subscribe, and you get even more out of it if you do share.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get the high quality content of Wave Game.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully you guys keep coming back too, because we do enjoy doing this for you guys, and it is to entertain you guys, you know. And it's anything kind of like with Medium Frank's sentiment that he was saying earlier, or at least I could put myself in that perspective. Like, I'd feel much better supporting people that are like, you know, that relate to me more than like just to go with what mainstream would say, you know, artists that are hot right now, especially during these times. I feel like, you know, I would feel better to grow my community of artists rather than the monopoly and the systemization of art. So
Talk that shit, boy. That's facts.
yeah.
And like, look, I'm trying to be nice right now, but I'm gonna talk. Let me talk my shit. Nobody works harder than us, and I don't care how talented motherfuckers are. If they're sleeping, we working, we gonna eat, baby. So if fucking support people that actually give a fuck about this shit, please. Like, God, help me. I'm actually doing great. This shit doesn't, for real though, if this shit doesn't work out, I'm gonna be a fly motherfucker either way. I'm doing great, but we love shit.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like, we don't have to do this. We do this because we love it. But like, to sustain ourselves, this is not that's not really why we do this in the first place. It's just, I think we want to do more of this, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facts.
But yeah, that's our PSA.
Thank y'all ahead of
Thank you
time.
for everything. Yeah.
And
But
welcome to the
To the
Xander.
Xander zone. Well, dope, man.
What did you think about my list? Were you expecting some to be higher than the others?
Yeah, I was expecting to see Soccer Mommy on there, but, no, but honestly, like, the cool thing that I noticed is, like, I'm not crazy in that, like, our lists are similar.
Yeah.
Like, our lists this year are more aligned. I mean, okay, we're always kind of aligned, but like, it's cool to see that like our lists did shift similarly because of the environment, you know, and like what's happening right now. And clearly, I think the reason why, there's probably a couple factors to this, but hip hop, it's a down year for hip hop because of 1,000 things, and it's showing because like two people that love hip hop but on like different spectrums of that are trending similarly, and it's just like, it's crazy to do that social experiment, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is interesting to see that, because like our past few lists have been mostly hip hop, you know. And to me, I like, that was weird to me, because even though I listened to hip hop, I never really realized how much I listened to hip hop. And especially now that we're doing this, I feel like we've both paid attention to music more. And I think in a way, because we are doing this, we are kind of naturally following where the industry's going. You know, which is, if we're attuned to that, I think that's better for us.
I think so too. We're a real, like, I think like when you think about like companies that do market research and they do like what do you call it, focus groups and shit. I think like there's always gonna be like the very ends of the spectrum where there's like the fucking commercial consumer that doesn't give a fuck about anything and they love Kesha, and then there's people who are like, I fucking hate anything that has more than 7 listeners, and then there's us. You know what I mean? We're like, we're a combination of the two. Of course, like, we're both a little bit like different where we are in the spectrum. But when you look at focus groups, those are the guys you always look at to see where we should focus, because there's always be the people that are like to the extreme, and you could disregard those because they're never going to fully impact your business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's really cool to see like how we could be somewhat of a thermometer in today's pop culture. You know what I mean?
Well,
Not even just
yeah.
music, because then we'll start to see it with Xani in the movies and
Mhm.
Vinny with the video games, and we could really, hopefully, Wave Game Worldwide. I don't want us to be necessarily like gatekeepers or anything, but maybe we could be just like the voice of the people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, like, with what you're saying, I also feel like you and I have a very, I mean, I don't want to like brag or like feel like we're the shit, but I feel like we have in a way a refined taste in music
Yeah.
because we're always looking for music. What happened?
There's hella people downstairs in our living room right now, and something crashed just now.
Oh yeah.
I hope it's not the
Great.
But
Great.
yeah. All I was saying though is like I think we definitely have a taste to where like we're not necessarily chasing what's popular. I think we're just naturally gravitating to what people are feeling right now, I guess, you know.
word.
And that like we at least judge for ourselves what we think is good music.
Yeah.
So much like rely on what
Facts. Yeah.
we think people think is good music.
Mhm.
In a way, even I see this with chemo too sometimes, where like especially chemo, where sometimes I feel like you're ahead sometimes, you know, like
Yeah. Chemo for sure. Like, I don't know how. Like, sometimes I think, like, sometimes they're like, damn, bro, like, you snob. But then really, because he's like, I don't know, dude. I don't want to, like, fucking suck his dick publicly or anything. But, like, I don't know. Especially when it comes to something like hip hop, it's hard to be ahead because everyone likes it.
yeah.
So it's like really cool to see that. You know what I mean? And yeah, I don't know, man. I think we're a great barometer of where the culture is at. And
Yeah.
I think that's really important. And I think we have something that we need to like give to the world, you know?
Yeah. And I guess it's because we're very open to what we listen to. So
Yeah, man. It's because we're reformed music snobs.
yeah. We used to be Christians, but we weren't.
Born again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But yeah, so I guess that's our episode for today. Is there anything else you guys want to add?
I just want to say, keep an eye out. We have more lists coming, mid-year lists. We got
Yeah.
Xani Devito. We're about to enter the Xander zone, and we got Wave Game Worldwide, Kong Fetty, Genghis Kong, gonna give us the video games and movies. So that's coming soon. Please rewatch the Brown Bitch video again. We appreciate all the support. I'm still fucking blown away. So I appreciate that. So you know we got more shit coming out. So definitely just keep a lookout.
Yeah. And where can they find you, Medium Frank?
You can find me at Medium37 Franc on IG. That's French, like FRANC, like French buddy. You feel me? And on Twitter at WGWW Frankie.
Awesome. And what about you, Xani? Where can they find you?
They can hit like and subscribe at Xani_Devito on Instagram and with the Wave Gang channel on YouTube. You can do it all.
Hell
Just do
yeah.
it all.
Hell yeah.
And
Just
you guys
finger
can
fuck
find
that button.
and you guys can find me at the Holographic Children on Instagram. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode and let us know what's on your list. If we recommend us music, because we're always looking for something, and let's argue about it. Let's get into some heated debates, some hot takes.
Recommend Xani some music that he could ignore.
Yeah.
Put it in the comments.
That should be like our an ongoing thing now.
Yeah, for real. I love it.
Ask Xani.
Yeah, I fucking love it.
That's Xani. Have you heard of this song?
He's like the Orange Cassidy of music critics. It's like, he doesn't give a fuck.
It's all work anyways.
Yeah.
It's all a work.
I love it. Well,
All right.
shit, man.
Well, that's it for tonight. Thank you,
Mid-year,
guys.
baby.
Yeah, set it off.
Mid-year.
Here's to another good 6 months of music, I guess. And you know what they say at the On Repeat podcast. Zip it up and
And
zip
zip
it
it
out.
out.